Guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Boston. I'm a concert photographer based in Los Angeles, California, and I do videos about the music industry and photography. So welcome! So today's video we're just gonna jump right into because I am so excited, and it's probably gonna be a little bit of a long one because it is an interview and I love doing these interviews. One of the reasons I wanted to start a YouTube channel was to feature other young women and just people in the music industry. I really just wanted to give a platform for people that I thought had something really interesting to say and some good advice for you out there if you're trying to start a new career in the music industry, or you're in the music industry and struggling, or you just really like learning about the music industry, because it is pretty rad to have a job in this industry. I have to say, we're very lucky. So the young woman that we're talking to today is a woman named Angela, and she is someone that I kept seeing on a Facebook group posting all of these amazingly positive things and just being very, very supportive of people starting a new business, getting into PR. She just had amazing things to say, and it was really nice for me to see someone else be so positive and just so supportive. So I really wanted to talk to her, and I really wanted to interview her, and I was talking to her and then found out that she is in a totally different state. So what we are doing is she already pre-recorded her answers, and I'm gonna add them in here so you guys know like what she said. Hopefully it's not a weird interview, but she is just the sweetest. But I really want to thank her for sitting down with me and just actually chatting about the music industry and what she does and how she got started. Because I think it's just really great to hear from other people, you know, what they have to say about the music industry and like what her recommendations are for you, and hopefully you can get some advice and some good tips out of it. So before I continue ranting forever, let's just get right into this interview. So a quick introduction for Angela. She has been working in PR for over 10 years, and she founded her own PR agency called Muddy Paw PR. And through that PR agency that she created, she has worked to place artists on top industry sites such as Alternative Press, Noisy, Substream, Spotify, and helping them play some major festivals and also gain licensing deals. Now, the reason that I wanted to highlight Angela and talk to her is because she can give more of a background on the business side of the industry. A lot of what I do is just like taking photos, but there is such a deeper side of this that everyone needs to know how to run their own business, especially if you're a photographer. You need to know how to market yourself. You need to know how to get in front of your clients and work with those bands. So before I waste another like 5 minutes just ranting and talking, I'm gonna kick it over to Angela so she can tell you more about herself and how she got started in the industry. So again, thank you so much, Angela, for doing this. It's so nice to have you.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be here. So like you said, I own Muddy Paw PR, where we work with emerging artists on PR campaigns and building their social media presence. And I'll try to keep this short, but my sort of start in the industry was completely accidental. I never knew I wanted to work in the music industry until I was at an Amber Lynn show back in 2009, and I caught the opening band, which was this band out of Providence, Rhode Island called The Coming Week, and they just blew me away. Like, their stage presence was so compelling. The way they were interacting with the audience was interacting back. It was just so incredible and infectious and compelling. And when I saw them, I thought, like, who are these guys? I just felt like I had to know their story. And so when I looked them up and I realized they were a local band, that they weren't signed to a label or anything, I was honestly really shocked. And that's when the idea for starting a music blog came into my mind. And this was back in 2009. There were music blogs, but not like it is today. So I really had no idea what I was doing. And I just knew that I wanted to tell their story, and I needed a place to do that. So I started a blog, and that's really how I got my start.
So when you wanted to start your own business, like, why did you decide on PR? Like, why did you want to start your own business to begin with? And then also, like, did you have any nerves starting out? I know, like, taking the first step is the hardest part for a lot of people. So did you have any issues? Like, just taking the leap and having your own business?
After graduating college in 2011, I had been running the music blog for probably about 2 years at that point. And I spent a couple of years just going from job to job. I had a communications degree, which, to be honest, like that's a tough degree no matter when you graduate, I feel like, but especially in 2011, things are still kind of just picking up from that recession period. And so every single job I found, I was getting laid off. And beyond that, I would find myself just hating it. Like I remember I had one job where I was so bored and so just lacking fulfillment in so much that I would actually go in the bathroom and cry. And I would also smuggle my laptop. Like I would bring these big purses to work and I would put my laptop in my purse, which I brought with me to work because on my lunch break I would work on infectious stuff. So I would put it in my purse and I would take my purse to the bathroom, which was this one person bathroom, and I would just stay in there for 10 or 15 minutes working on stuff for my music blog. So I mean, it was kind of always in me that I had to be in the industry, but it wasn't until a bunch of events just kind of aligned, including moving to San Francisco and getting laid off from that job that I hated, that I decided to start the PR company. And the reason I decided to start Muddy Paw PR is because, besides the lack of fulfillment, I kept getting laid off from these jobs, and I figured if I just start my own company, nobody can lay me off, And on top of that, I felt like I've been on the receiving end of press releases and working with emerging bands so much through the music blog that it felt like a natural transition. And I'm really happy that I was that naive because it was really hard and it was not quite that smooth. But that was absolutely a blessing because that being that naive really helped me to just put my head down and power through and make things happen. Like I said, there have definitely been struggles. There have also been some really good highs. Struggle-wise, I had no idea what I was doing. I was really stubborn in the beginning with both the blog and the PR company where it took me a long time to ask for help. Now I realize that, having mentors is crucial, and thankfully within about a year or so of running Muddy Paw PR, I decided to reach out to a couple owners of PR companies in the music industry that I really admired, and they were kind enough to help me and talk to me and really guide me, and to be honest, I don't know if I would have kept going without them. So I'm really grateful for that. But yeah, of course it was a struggle. I was figuring everything out on my own. But it paid off. Obviously, I'm here. That's really cool that I get to talk to you about this. And, we've had just seeing, it sounds so cliche, but seeing clients really succeed is the best thing ever. So we've had, some of our clients, Nominee just signed to Smart Punk Records. That's amazing. They were one of the first clients we worked with. So seeing that evolution of them over the last, I would say 3 years, going from this band that we worked with PR with, that people were, they were always amazing, but people were just getting to know, to now signing to a label. That's incredible. We've had artists like Shadow of Wales just won at the Independent Music Awards. They've played Warped Tour and So What. We have bands that get licensing deals, management. So it's just really, really cool to be a part of that process and really watch them grow. And I'm really grateful that we get to do that.
So this is kind of a stupid question on my part, but I feel like a lot of people get confused about band management versus PR. So can you give a little bit more of a background about the difference and what you do with your job? Because I know a lot of photographers out there communicate with both band management and PR. And half the time you don't really know who to reach out to or why. So I think that it gets a little confusing for people just starting out and trying to figure out who they should talk to. So if you could describe kind of what you do and what the differences are, that would be really cool.
Yes, thank you for asking that. It's so true. People always get confused about PR and management. So PR in a nutshell, especially I will say PR for emerging artists, is about telling your story and getting it out there. So what we do is press. We help you to get a blog feature, an interview or album review or a guest blog, anything that gets your name out there in press and helps tell your story. That's PR. Management, the reason it gets confusing is because a lot of managers, especially at the indie level, will help you do everything, right? So they're doing your booking, they're doing your press, they're helping you with business deals, they're negotiating contracts. But that's the difference right there. PR is just press. Management is the person that you go to sort of advise you on all the other decisions, on all the decisions of your career.
So I know that a lot of people that watch videos about the music industry and like the business side of things want to start their own business. It's kind of a trend right now to be your own boss, which I totally get because it's fantastic. But I know that a lot of people watching are gonna want to start their own business. So what advice do you have for like first-time business owners and people starting out?
So if you're out there and you're thinking you want to start a business, then go for it, do it. That is my first piece of advice. My second piece of advice is to find a mentor. I cannot tell you how much it helped me to have mentors, to be able to look at them and see this is how they did things, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, to also be able to call them up and say like, hey, I'm stuck, or what do you do in this situation? It's so, so powerful to have that person to go to. So if you are thinking about it, I honestly just do it, like just start, because I get it. It can be overwhelming to get stuck in that mode of like, I have to research, things have to be perfect. But the more you do, the more you'll learn. And honestly, that is the best way to get started, is just to do and find a mentor.
When I was checking out your website, I noticed that you offer a lot of like free content and free courses. So I was wondering, what was like your reasoning behind that? Like, why did you get started? And what was the purpose of just like offering that content?
Yeah, so I do have a lot of free content out there. I mean, I started just because it seemed like the right thing to do. You know, you want to get your name out there in the beginning. What do? You start writing blog posts, you make videos, you go on people's podcasts, or you start your own podcast. It's just what you do when you're starting out. And, you know, of course, that content is incredibly valuable. I think that people sometimes on the business side can worry, well, if I give away all my content for free, then it means that, you know, nobody's going to buy my stuff. So for an artist, that might mean, well, if they can stream my song, they won't buy it. Well, maybe they won't buy your song, but they'll probably buy your merch, or they'll buy tickets to your shows. And for an entrepreneur, you know, maybe if you're putting your content out there for free, you know, the more value they feel like they're getting from you, the more they're going to want to invest in whatever you have to offer when it's time. I mean, I can't tell you how many clients, like practically all my clients really, that I've had that came to me after either, you know, seeing me speak somewhere, or, you know, reading one of my guest blogs, something like that, where they felt like that value that she gave for free was so good, I can't even imagine what the paid content is. And that's really what you're going for.
And you're releasing another like course membership community type thing soon, aren't you? Like, can you talk a little bit on that?
Yeah, so we just launched our membership community, which I am super excited about. This is something that has just been living in my mind for so long that I'm like so excited to get it out there into the world. And we're gonna have guest experts every month to come in and talk directly to our members. So like you can talk to people who have high level management experience, or bands that have signed to labels, or people that do the booking at festivals. Like you're going to get that one-on-one access to them. And then in addition, we're gonna have monthly group coaching and mastermind calls, and then a couple other resources. So it's going to be really, really fun.
On a more personal note, for young women and women that are just trying to break into the music industry, do you have any personal advice for them? Because I know that it can be really challenging and really daunting to just get started. So I just wanted to hear your take on it, and if you have any advice for women out there.
If I could give any piece of advice to a woman trying to break into the industry, it would be, oh man, it's like, how do I choose one? Okay, I'm gonna do two. Is that okay? I'm gonna do two. So the first, these are both ones that I just heard the other day, and they're not terribly original, but they really resonated with me. So the first is take up space. This is something I've always struggled with my whole life, is just making myself smaller to accommodate other people, and no more of that. The second is 2020 is going to be the year that people look at me and say, who does she think she is? And I am okay with that. Now, I heard that and I love it. Like, I love, love, love it, because I need that reminder all the time. I can get really insecure. A lot of us get in our heads, right? And we think, oh, you know, people are going to think, who does she think she is? Like, she's not qualified, she's not this, she's not that, she's too loud, whatever. And I loved that quote, because to me, it's just permission to just be who you are, go after what you want, and not think about, you know, the chatter that's going on in the background, which, to be honest, doesn't probably exist. I think a lot of us think people are talking about us when they're not. But anyway, those are my two sort of like power phrases for the new year, and that would be my advice. Also, network. It's very important.
So that taking up space comment, like, really gets to me, because that was one thing that when I started out, especially like in the photo pit, I always thought that was in people's way and just taking up space. So I'm really happy that you touched on that, because that like rings a bell with me, and like, I don't know. I wish that more women and just more people were just confident in themselves and just getting out there and taking up that space. Like, you're a person, you deserve to exist in the space that you're in. It's just so funny that a lot of women that I've talked to kind of feel that way and have had that struggle where we feel like we're taking up space in a bad way, and it's like, no, you're just existing. So I really appreciate you saying that. And lastly, just take a minute to tell everyone where to find your stuff, and if there's anything else that you want to say before we close off this video.
Thank you so much for having me. If anyone wants to get in touch, my Instagram is Angela_Mastro, and my website is angelamastrogiacomo.com. All the information is on there for the membership community and just getting involved. And then if you are interested in PR, just shoot me an email, angela@muddypawpr.com. Otherwise, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. This has been awesome. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Angela. It was so nice to have you send in your responses. Like, I really appreciate it. I know that these videos are really hard when we're in different states. I really wanted you guys to hear from Angela, because when I was looking at her content, I was just so happy to see someone putting out all of this information and courses to just help other people grow. It just made me really happy to see someone who is also passionate about just helping everyone succeed. So I really hope that you guys liked this video. Thank you again, Angela, for being with me today and talking to us about PR and like being in the industry. So thank you so much. And of course, all of Angela's stuff is going to be linked in the description box below, so please go check that out and send her some love. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.